AI automations, AI agents, AI workflows, Zapier workflows, simple automation, CRM workflows, it's all very confusing, and for a lot of founders is just impossible to implement. There are too many tools to learn, too many pieces, just no one knows what to do. In this video, I want to show you the top 33 workflows, whether it be an AI agent, whether it's just a simple workflow or an automation that you should implement in your business, and then how to actually do that without having to learn all these tools. So we'll skip to the end, how to actually do it. The easiest way is to just hire someone. I have an agency, there's people on Upwork, there's people on Fiverr. You can build all these things out. You do want to find someone that is professional and knows what they're doing, because specifically, especially with those AI agents, a lot of what really matters is the brain, which we did a whole video on, is what's the knowledge base that's actually in that AI agent so it can make decisions. But in this video, I'm going to show you all of the things that I've either implemented or plan to implement for my business. So I have a screen share up, we'll jump back and forth, but the first one here is intent-based social listening. So in business, you got to imagine that basically there are people all over the place, whether it be Facebook, Reddit, LinkedIn, who are posting looking for professionals. So they're saying, hey, I own a PR firm. They're saying, hey, I would love to work with this PR firm, whatever. And so they send a signal that they're hiring a publicist or a PR firm. And then what will happen is this AI will find it, hear it, and then enrich that data. So they'll go look up the company, they'll go look up the lead, they'll find the email, and then they can literally put it all the way into email sending system. It can send for you, and then there's next steps to it, which is another one on this system. So the idea here again is that you're just listening to what's going on. So as if you had advocates in every single channel of the internet hearing you, and then you can go implement whatever response needed to help maybe curate that sale. The next one is job board, scraping and enriching to email marketing or to an outbound system. So in the same sense, if you're whatever job you're doing, people are posting looking for specifically what you can do. So for us, we want to look for publicists or media relation experts who are contractors or part-time, because that's kind of the role that we fill, and that don't have maybe a full department, but are just looking to have that first person, second person on their team, and how we can enrich that. So what happens is they post a job, every 24 hours, our system will then scrape and it will find all these companies, it'll find the CEO or an executive, and then it'll enrich that data, put it into a clay table, what we're currently using, and then that will upload into Instantly AI, which is a sending software, and it'll send them an email that's all been curated through this workflow. So a full multiple people jobs expertise built in right away. So basically someone posts a job all the way out to sending. And there's so many use cases where this is going to be valuable, especially around recruiters. Now, the next one is AI-driven lead scoring. So as your CRM is filled up, there's a lot of things you can do in your CRM for basically lead scoring, but with AI, you're able to also grab sentiment and kind of the actual desire to purchase. Not just, hey, they land on this page, give them a score of 2, but hey, they emailed back to the salesperson and they said they're ready to purchase, or they're looking to move forward, or they just need to see a case study. These could be things that greatly enhance your AI score, and then you can do different actions on that end, whether it's just notify a manager, have a SDR, BDR, or sales executive flag it to support, whatever you guys want. There's a whole bunch of back-end automation and workflows you can build out from there, but just knowing who your hot leads are and updating your pipeline through that is very powerful, especially if you're getting a large number of leads come in. Same thing with kind of the sales enrichment, social listening, is what's happening in the media, in the news. So you can set specific triggers. So if, a company just gets funded, if all these things happen, company just gets an award, if there's a trigger that happens, you can curate your AI to then scrape the information, enrich it, and then again, you can reach out to them automatically saying congratulations, pitch them your product, whatever it is. That's one of the key things that we do that helps us drive a lot of sales. So the next one is inbound funnel tracking, and it's really not as much AI or AI agent as it is just automation in your CRM. So as people land on certain pages, there's a lot of actions you should take. So if they land on your pricing page or have high intent, they book a call. Retargeting is obviously the most common thing, but if you can curate that person, enrich their data, and then have a very personalized response. So again, a lot of what we're trying to do is figure out what would a salesperson do if you had an army of expert salespeople, what would they do? And so if someone lands on the page that has a checkout page and they haven't talked to an account executive or a salesperson, they would probably email them with a very detailed email about a similar case study to their company, highlighting the research you've done, show that you've researched that lead, the actual individual, that CEO, that executive, and then giving them pertinent information to make a decision, and of course offer to maybe jump on a call with a scheduling link, and it might be unique to the individual. So there's a lot that you can do there to curate and drive results through AI. Just again, the goal is to help enrich all of this content, all of these actions that a salesperson might be doing, and allow your salespeople to do what's the highest leverage piece. So the next one, we're getting a little bit more into the sales part of it, which I think is very fun, is basically an AI sales manager. So we use a tool called MeetGeek. There's 100 tools, not necessarily a recommendation, but then we can grab that transcription and we can have AI read through it for sentiment and read through it for mistakes and missing our kind of scripts and errors, talking too much, or doing a really good job. And what it can do is after each call, or after every bad call, or after every good call, it can then highlight and send that to the sales manager. And it just allows for really quick coaching, really quick feedback, and helps you close more deals. Now, there's other pieces to this that you're able to do. Since you've already gotten that transcription, the next automation you can do is actually enrich your CRM with this data. So company bio, lead bio, what services were they looking for? What were their pain points? All of these things you can use later to give them really curated marketing material and content. Not only that, with that, again, transcript, another section is that we do post-sales call forms. So as soon as a call is over, you have to fill out a form with all the details from that call to make sure that it gets into the CRM. But you can basically completely eliminate that. Or what we do is we pre-populate a smart link. So someone just clicks that link, it pulls up all the information, they skim it to make sure it's correct, and then they just hit submit. So there's 2 button clicks there, and it's really fast. It increases the accuracy, but what it does is we like to do human assisted. So it allows the team to adjust, make any changes. Maybe sometimes the AI makes a mistake, or it just was not connected to the right account. There's a lot of things where they just want to make sure that it's perfect. And so that is a great tool. And on top of that, the next piece of this is AI generated proposals. So in the same scenario, what we're doing is we're grabbing all these AI enriched pieces about the company, the lead, the pain points, the service they want, the price point, and it will then take all that information and build that entire detailed proposal, and for us, PR strategy, and just very high level strategy, but enough, and it's trained on specific strategy pieces. So each piece of this proposal has to be templated and curated and guided, and you have to tell what your services are, what the prices are, but it's all material that you should really have if you have a robust team. So if you have 7, 10 closers, or even 3, they need all this material anyways. So you just curate it, you train an AI, and then it just really helps them. Now, a lot of what we do is human assisted. So it'll create that proposal, but it doesn't send it. It'll create the proposal, and then we'll create a draft email response with a link to the proposal, and the sales team will then go in, make any edits they want, change the formatting, and then they can hit send. So the goal with a lot of this is to improve quality, increase consistency, and speed to lead. So instead of taking an hour to create a proposal, maybe 2, it takes 15 minutes. So all these things are super powerful, and I jumped in. So I think I went through multiple of these. I'm going back to my list. So that was the post-call form, intent proposal, and sales call summary, and we have our AI sales manager. So those are a lot of ones that we've been building out recently and seen huge impacts just in time savings, but as well as just thoroughness across the board of what materials we're producing. So back to the sales piece of it. So we have all these enrichment tools that are social listening. In a sense, they're finding top of funnel, and then we're sending through a tool called Instantly. We then use an AI assistant to help respond to these leads. So you're making another workflow where basically as soon as someone responds positively, it's then doing the exact same thing. It's Googling the company, it's looking at the website, it's finding a matching case study, and it's looking up the lead, and then it's drafting a reply based on all of that information to send to the lead. But the thing that we do, and we really like to do this with a lot of our stuff, is the human assisted. So then it'll go into Asana for us as a drafted message, and all they have to do is hit approve. And if they want to make edits, they're able to make edits. And our goal is to get to a 95 to 100% accuracy with the AI agent, and we're very close close to that, but we still want to leave that human touch, because not only that, the individual, the SDRs are able to do things like phone calls, follow up, and a lot of nuance where they can help make that even better. But our goal is to be able to service people quicker and at a higher level. So instead of it taking that SDR 30 minutes to respond to one person, they can respond to 30 people. So one person per minute, because they're just quickly making sure everything matches up. If they have time, they can give you a call, they can leave a text message. A lot of just integration between that human and that AI workflow. Number 10, what's up next is our onboarding process. So for us, we have someone fill out an onboarding process, but in the same scenario as before, we want to enrich our CRM with all that information. We want to do more research, find strategy, and then not only do we fill in our CRM with a whole bunch of extra details, we send that to our team to get them excited about who's joining the team, but we also start the strategy plan. So with our team, we do an onboarding call, but on that onboarding call, they're basically outlining, introducing the team and getting an idea of how the strategy is going to look. But if we can have a rough draft of a strategy plan already built out, they can then just go deeper into it and go enrich it and make a bunch of edits. And again, a lot of this is just speeding things up and standardizing it for our team, but it actually allows them to be more creative and more effective because they have more time and more resources to invest in actual doing company research and competitor research. All these little pieces that maybe they didn't have enough time because building out a strategy plan took 3 hours or 6 hours or 12 hours. It's now they have a baseline in 30 seconds, and then they can spend 2 hours really fine tuning it and doing additional research and maybe even learning things they didn't know so they can get further and get other resources involved. The next one, and this is one that's actually my absolute favorite, I think I've done an entire video on it, is an AI knowledge base. So what we've done is we've taken all of our SOPs, everyone's daily tasks, all of our knowledge bases, and we just use simple tools like Google Drive, and we made a big Excel file that links to every single one. And then in one folder, we have every single file that's number coded and linked. So it's really organized, but then that's all put into a knowledge base. And so what happens is anytime someone has a question, typically the answers are in the SOPs, but I understand SOPs can be hundreds of pages long. I think ours, we literally have over 500 SOPs. So they can quickly go, okay, so I just made a sale, what do I do next? And then the AI will boom, boom, boom. Not only will it tell them exactly what to do, but it'll reference every single SOP. And if they have more questions, they can click on it and it'll pull it up for them. So hugely valuable as your team grows. And even as you have a smaller team or you're working with overseas talent, building them just allows your onboarding time to be cut into like a third. So really, for me, that's actually one of my favorite ones that we implemented. So I kind of doubled up. The knowledge base is one of them, and then the team assistant is one of them. And basically that team assistant is just, again, that chat that works with all of the company knowledge, so you can go back and forth and have these conversations and really make the AI knowledge base more useful for the team. All right, so back to the sales side, I think we're on 13 here. So churn kind of sentiment analysis. And the way this works is we use our CRM captures emails back and forth from our clients to our team and back both directions. And so what you can use is you can use AI sentiment. So you capture all of these communications and you have them run through a sentiment detection, and you can determine if they're aggravated, frustrated, thinking about canceling. And you can also save this all to basically one chat for this entire person. So there's a memory key in OpenAI or a lot of these platforms. So they will remember and they help you graph sentiment throughout. And as you know, it's starting to get negative, you can flag an executive to come in and say, hey, it sounds like there might be some issues with this account. Would you like some additional support? This one we haven't implemented yet, but it's on the product board. Okay, so more really cool ones. The next one is just an AI SEO blogger. So the thing that a lot of tools fail at is actually where you're grabbing your data from. So first off, with all these structures, you're going to pull, for us, we want to pull trending keywords, trending topics, even trending things in the media, and you capture that and you come up with new topic ideas every single day or every single week, and then it's going to go into the brain that knows your style guide, how you want to write, what the rules are for SEO. So you're literally training it. So again, every piece of this is as if you have your own expert, and every workflow or automation is like building your own software. The advantage is, and what I found is most softwares now don't have the nuance to do a lot of this correctly. They'll get a piece of it, but maybe they can't scrape trending data. Maybe they can't, they're not using your style guide. They're not using your voice. They're, on antiquated or old SEO practices. So you can do all of this with this AI kind of writer. The next piece of the marketing is LinkedIn. There's two that you can do in LinkedIn that I really like. One is just on trending stories. So you grab someone's trending post on LinkedIn, so it'll basically analyze all really high engagement things. It'll determine if it's in your niche, and then it'll repurpose it in your voice using your style guide and using your past material. And then it can automatically post for you daily, weekly, hourly, whatever you want there. And we've seen massive increases in traffic through organic LinkedIn, as well as the next piece of this is commenting. What we can do is have the AI read the comments and take basically a screenshot of what that looks like. So it's also analyzing the image. If there's an image, the style, the context, whatever, and then it'll make an intelligent comment based on what you train it to do. So again, starting conversations back and forth, just top of funnel lead generation and personal branding, especially thought leadership when done correctly. Now for the PR side of it, we kind of cover this, but same thing is we have alerts for our clients of keywords, but what we can do is have alerts for our entire team about trending stories. So things that our team might be able to pitch about, inform our clients about, and just utilize that to have more success with our clients and as well as us as a company. So we build all these notifications and all these alerts, and they can set up for a daily alert. You can set up for as breaking news happens, whatever you want. But this gives us content and ideas to start producing for all of our clients. So I got a few more. I'm gonna start going a little bit faster. We have client sentiment tracker, which I believe I already covered. Cross-selling and upselling, so notifying us when a client has high intent, kind of like a lead score, but again, using AI and conversational cues as well, because we're gonna capture sales calls and all of that and put it into our CRM so we can actually learn where they are in their journey, and it gives us an opportunity to, maybe they mentioned they need SEO. Well, we have an SEO service, so let's pitch them SEO at a very timely time. So you can use it for business reports. So we have a quarterly business report. It'll grab sentiment of clients, revenue, recurring, all of these things, MMR, and it pulled it all together and give us a report, kind of like an executive would give that quarterly report. Now this one I haven't implemented, but it's high on the list, is a Winback automation. So we have a lot of clients that leave for whatever reason, financial, end a campaign, but we don't have, and our CRM will follow up with them, and we have a sales team that's set to follow up with them. But if you can start enriching and tracking these individuals and see when they have success, we worked with a lot of public traded companies, so maybe a big press release goes out, a big story goes out, we can then reconnect with these companies and say, hey, congratulations, I saw this. I think this would be a perfect time to start up your campaign again. The next one is cold lead revitalization. So again, same thing with all these lead scoring, as if this lead hasn't been touched in several months, just reinitiating that conversations, and again, curating it in a very custom and personalized way. So I'm gonna start going through these much faster because it's taken a long time. We got an executive dashboard. We use Plecto for this, but you can use AI to enrich the data and get more thoughtful data, especially as you start to ask it questions. That's one of the things, as we upload our knowledge base and data into these databases, you can ask it smart questions like, what is our client avatar? Who's making the most purchasing decisions? Who's spending the most? What genre? All of these things, you can aggregate all that data using AI. Smart hiring and training, we already talked about the training piece of it, but hiring, finding these leads, same thing, social listening, looking for people that are very qualified, enriching their information, sending out campaigns to them, just finding ways to get in touch with people who are actively looking for jobs or poaching and may not be looking for jobs, but based on specific qualifications and keywords. So we talked about the sales tools, but you can also have an AI, basically leadership dashboard report. So every day I could have a report of all client churn, new clients, potential new sales, things that I might want to get involved in. Basically just listening to everything going on, enriching it, and send me a very clean and concise report of what's going on in the company so I can have a better handle on how to help my team be successful. So the next piece would be AI collections. So of course, payments fail, things like that. And we use CRM automations and workflows to text and remind people, but having that AI then have that conversation and help get that build done. So maybe more just like a chatbot built into your CRM. We use Go High Level, which allows that to kind of be actively available. We could just set it to payment failed, initiate chatbot, and then I'll have the conversation, help them pay. All right, so the next one, we're getting close. We got 2 left. This one is going to be a AI thought leader clone of an executive. So we obviously work with a lot of executives. We want to build an entire knowledge base built on conversations we've had with this person. So our team can ask it questions, understand voice and goal based on the strategy plan, what they've said, and we can help curate speed to success. So we can create a quote using their exact information, everything they said on a call, and they can help us curate copy, they can help us curate blog articles, pitch ideas, all from that executive's brain. And of course, we still have that human touch and people are going through it, but allowing us to trim that time down and really kind of feed back and forth with almost that individual. So instead of spending, again, a lot of this is quality and time. Instead of spending 5 hours on the call every week, if we did that up front, so we did 5 hours, we should have a lot of material to build on and understand that tone of voice, the style, the goal, the brand, the mission, the why. So all of these things can be built into that brain. And finally, and this is one that I'm starting to use, is social intent in the sense of what material should be produced. So obviously I'm producing a YouTube video right now. How do I pick that topic? What's trending? What's doing really well? We talked about it on LinkedIn. You can do that on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, just finding these trending posts and then trying to curate a similar post in your own voice, but to still give you that top of funnel. If you guys like videos like this and you want to know how to implement AI in your business more, please make sure to subscribe down below, and I will have the entire list of everything I just said down in the comments. There'll be a link to sign up, and we'll send you this whole list, and then my team, if you need help, will help you implement all of these tools. Thank you.